don't cost a lot of money is what I'm what I'm trying to say. Fragrances that you can find under that $50 price point that are good for the summertime. What's up, YouTube? My name is Darian. I'm the bow tie fragrance guy on the channel where we talk about fragrances as well as fashion. So if you love looking good and smelling great, then I think you found the right channel. Why don't you consider clicking on the subscribe button? And if you don't mind, take another quick second as well to tap the bell icon as well, just to make sure you get notified every time I upload new content on the channel. So guys, on today's video, we're going to be jumping into 10 fragrances that are under $50. So whatever word you want to use, cheap, inexpensive fragrances that are great for the summertime. I have 10 great recommendations on the list today. I will try my best to link all of them down below where you can find them for under that $50 price point. So I think you're going to enjoy this list today. If you're looking for some great fragrances to wear in the summertime and you're looking to have great fragrances on a budget, then this is the list for you. If you want to know what's on this list, you know how we get down. Keep it locked right here. All right, guys, we are back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. We're going to jump right into the list, and we're starting with a fragrance from the house of Burberry, and this is Mr. Burberry Indigo. Mr. Burberry Indigo. Now, this fragrance has been popping up around discounters throughout, the world, the TJ Maxx's, the Marshalls of the world. You can typically find this fragrance now for around that $30, $35 price point, as well as, of course, as on various discounted websites. But what I like about this fragrance, and it's not really talked about a lot, it's a very kind of spicy herbal fragrance. And again, here's another fragrance where we see that freshness that is provided by a spearmint note. Now, it's not as good as what you're going to find, of course, in like a Enclave by Amouage, but at this particular level, it is a great use of the note of spearmint. The spearmint really offsets all of the spicier notes that you get in this. I think there's notes like violet leaf in this one. I think there's some basil in this as well. And it dries down to a nice kind of clean, musky cedar wood kind of dry down. But this is a really, really good fragrance, especially if we're talking about at that $30 to $40 price point. Great for the summertime. The spearmint will help keep you fresh throughout the course of the day. So check this one out from the house of Burberry. This one is called Burberry Indigo. All right, guys, now coming in at the 9th spot on this list, this fragrance comes from, this is a celebrity fragrance, and this is from Usher, and this one is called simply Homme. This one is called Homme. I picked this one up for a really, really cheap price, $20. And I mean, for what you get with this, I really, really like this fragrance for the summertime. It's really fresh, clean, and fruity in the opening. The highlight to me is this mandarin orange apple combination in the opening of this fragrance is really, really nice. Of course, I will openly admit the issue with most of these fragrances on this list, these aren't the best performing fragrances in the world. Most of these average between that 4 to 6 hour time frame as it relates to overall longevity. And this one is really, really not good at all when it comes to overall performance. I get about 3.5 to 4 hours of performance out of this, but again, for the price, $20, again, take it with you and just spray it. You can spray this a lot, as liberally as you want to, but it smells really, really great. So from an inexpensive standpoint, about $20, this is a nice one. I recommend checking this one out if you can find it from the Usher, Mr. Let It Burn himself. Well, I guess that song has all new meaning now. Check this one out. From Usher, this is called Homme. All right, guys, now coming in at the 8th spot on this list, this fragrance comes from the house of Dolce Gabbana, and I think this was the summer release of 2018, if I'm not mistaken, but this is Dolce Gabbana Light Blue Sun. Dolce Gabbana Light Blue Sun. Again, this was they do a version of Dolce Gabbana Light Blue every summer, and this one was 2018, or it could have been 2019, but this is one that grew on me a little bit. When it initially came out, I actually purchased a bottle of this, and I didn't really like the way the grapefruit played on my skin. But I gave it some time. I went back and revisited this fragrance. And when you can find this for around that, again, $35, $40 price point, this is one that I would definitely take a look at. It's really, really great for the summertime. Again, it has grapefruit. There's a Granny Smith apple note that you get in this as well. I really, really like the apple in this. Again, sometimes that grapefruit on my skin can be a little sour, but for the price point that you're gonna pay for this now at about that $35 price point, this is a great one to take a look at. So if you haven't ever put your nose on this one, if you love grapefruit, again, notes like apple, this is one that I definitely think that you would enjoy. So check it out from the house of Dolce Gabbana. This is called Light Blue Sun. All right, guys, let's keep this train moving. And coming in at the 7th spot on this list today, this fragrance comes from the house of Lacoste, and this is Lacoste Eau Fraiche. And this is from the L1212 line. This is one, again, that I really, really enjoy. And to me, if you like, if you like Millesime Imperial from Creed, this is one that really puts me in the mindset of Millesime Imperial. I don't know how we arrived there. If you look at the note breakdown, this fragrance has lemon, and there's this lemon cello note in this as well. It has some musk and patchouli when it dries down. And again, I'm not really sure how we arrive at the Millesime Imperial DNA based on the note breakdown, but again, just to give you an idea or a reference point, it reminds me a lot of that fragrance. This one you can find on FragranceNet for around at $25 to $28 price point. And at that price point, this is a great offering from the summertime. As a matter of fact, most of the fragrances from the L1212 line of Lacoste to me are great for the summertime. So check this one out, man. Definitely, especially if you like the Millesime Imperial Creed DNA. This is called Lacoste from the L1212 line, Eau Fraiche. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list, we're going to the house of Coach, and this is Coach Blue. Coach Blue. And just like the predecessors from the Coach line, the original Coach, the one that came in a silver bottle, I can't remember the name of it, Coach Platinum. Just like those two fragrances, this is a very, very mass appealing blue fragrance. That's really what it's all about. Has some black pepper, some lime in here. Just a great, refreshing, overall, easy to wear fragrance. It has that typical blue DNA, but man, this stuff really, really works. So this is one I highly recommend. You can find this one again for around that $40 price point if you can. If you're looking for something easy to wear in the summertime, this is a great option. So check this one out from the house of Coach. This is called Coach for Men Blue. All right, guys, the next fragrance on this list, we're looking at a fragrance from a car company, and this one is by the house of Ferrari, and this one is called Bright Neroli. This one is called Bright Neroli, and this is a really, really nice Neroli fragrance for the price. Again, you can find this one, you're typically looking at between that $20 to $25 price point for a 3.4 ounce bottle. And again, that's a really, really good deal at this price. As you can imagine, this is one that you would have to be a fan of Neroli to enjoy, but I really, really enjoyed this one. I personally love the note of Neroli. I really like that kind of bright freshness that it brings to fragrances in most cases, and this one is no exception. Again, is this Xerjoff Neo type Neroli or Kobe? No, but it is nice for the price point. So check this one out from the house of Ferrari. This is called Bright Neroli. Great for the summertime. All right, guys, coming in at the 4th spot on this list today, this fragrance comes from the house of Abercrombie & Fitch, and this one is First Instinct Together. First Instinct Together. And I just love what you get for this one at the price point. Really fresh, fruity, fun, definitely easy to wear fragrance. And again, if you're looking for something on a budget to wear in the summertime, this is something that I highly, highly recommend. This is one of those fragrances that's going to get a lot of compliments. Again, it has a nice apple note in the opening, some pineapple, grapefruit, just a beautiful kind of fruity accord on the opening of this fragrance. And then it has that kind of typical sweet, musky dry down. Very, very, much something that's not, groundbreaking by any means, but if you're looking for something that's easy to wear and is going to pull in some compliments in the summertime, this is one you need in your collection. So check this one out from the house of Abercrombie & Fitch. This is First Instinct Together. All right, guys, coming in at the number 3 spot on this list, this fragrance comes from the house of Commodity, and this is just simply called Bergamot. Bergamot from the house of Commodity. And a few years ago, maybe 2 years ago, these fragrances started popping up everywhere on discounters, in rack stores across the country. And initially, these are fragrances that I kind of dismissed. I had not really heard about the company, the company Commodity at the time. So I saw the fragrances there, but I kind of dismissed them. A couple months ago, I actually saw this one pop back up. And I knew that summertime was kind of a few months, out. And so I said to myself, let me try this one. And I'm so happy that I did. This is one that I really, really enjoy from Commodity. And again, Bergamot is a fragrance note that you're going to find in a lot of fragrances in the summertime that are really made for warmer or even hot temperatures. You're going to find Bergamot used a lot in fragrances. And this is a great take on the note of Bergamot. To me, this is really a niche quality fragrance. And I know that, again, at that price point, sometimes, we don't really associate niche quality type fragrances where you can get them at such a low price point. But for a Bergamot fragrance, this is definitely one that is of high quality. So if you can find this somewhere in the rack stores or on a discounter for around that $50 price point or less, it's a steal of a deal. So check this one out from the House of Commodity. This is called simply Bergamot. All right, guys, coming in at the number 2 spot, I am so glad I circled back around to this fragrance and got my hands on a bottle of this for around a $30 price point. It smells amazing. And this is from the House of Sean John, and this one is called Sean John, I Am King. I Am King. If I had to choose my favorite fragrance from Sean John, this would give Unforgivable a run for its money, because this stuff just smells fantastic. I call this fragrance, I akin the smell of this to the smell of Fruity Pebbles. For some reason, it just reminds me of Fruity Pebbles when I smell it, because it has such a fruity opening to this fragrance. It is very, very fruity when it opens up. And what I love about it is I start to get some creaminess as it starts to dry down from sandalwood. Now, if this fragrance lasts longer, this would definitely be one of the best inexpensive fragrances that you could get your hands on, because it just smells so good, but it doesn't really last that long. I get about 3.5 to 4 hours out of this, and then I have to reapply. But man, for that 3.5 to 4 hours, I'm smelling great. But it smells that good, even with performance issues, that I put it in the number 2 spot. So man, if you can find this at a discount, check this one out, man. It's not out there as much as some of the other fragrances on this list, but if you can find this one, I highly recommend it from the House of Sean John. This is called I Am King. All right, guys, and coming in at the number 1 spot on this list, this fragrance comes from the House of Mont Blanc, and this one is called Starwalker. This is called Starwalker, and I love this stuff. You guys know how much I love Versace Man Eau Fraiche. This reminds me a lot of Versace Man Eau Fraiche, but it's a little bit cleaner. That one's a little bit more aquatic. This is a little bit more clean, fresh. And that's because this one has a very unique note of bamboo. The only other fragrance that I have in my collection that I recall that uses the note of bamboo, that has that kind of same clean freshness, is Bamboo Harmony by Kilian. And of course, the bamboo is not on that level, but at this price point, it's really, really nice, man. So check this one out if you haven't. If you've never smelled this one and you smell Versace Man Eau Fraiche, then you pretty much know what this kind of smells like. So coming in at the number 1 spot on my inexpensive or cheap fragrance list of 2021 is this one right here from Mont Blanc, and it's called Starwalker. All right, guys, that's it. That's my time. I hope you enjoyed this video today, as I gave you 10 cheap or inexpensive options to look at for the summer of 2021. As always, I appreciate your time and attention to these videos, because of course you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're right here with me, and I sincerely appreciate that. And don't forget to take a few moments to like, comment, and subscribe, and share these videos out to folks that you think could use this information or find me entertaining, because I'm your guy, Darren, the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.